So as you can see, just as a reminder, we were able to get all 12 colonies back on our side, and momentarily we've got an income of 93 per round. So that's going to be really, really nice. Before, we actually had 2 defected colonies, and this time around we actually have all 12 momentarily, temporarily on our side. Right now, if we look at the existing Cylon fleets, we've got strengths of 2,000 or higher. We definitely need to continue to build more ships. We just defended ourselves against a surprise attack by the Cylon fleet. They were able to attack the Daedalus, but they were able to fend that off rather handily. So we're going to go over to build ships, and we're just going to continue with what we got. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to go in and build 2 Adamant frigates. We're going to build 3 Manticore corvettes, but I'm going to go ahead and rush them. We have quite a lot of Tilium, so it probably makes sense to get them going. And then at 380, we're going to hang on to the Tilium that we have. We have 523 remaining. So that means that we actually have 2 of our Adamant frigates here. We'll go over to officers, and we're going to go in and recruit another. So we've got Kelly Trafford. It seems like she's got a Marine Colonel, Armory Subsystem Strength. Oh, that's very different. 25% Marine Strength. I don't know too much about the Marine thing. And then this one is Engineering Subsystem Strength. So we've got a Combat Engineer. We've got Celia, who's the CIC Subsystem Strength. So that's all the posturing. And we've got Mitsuo Koksal at the Tech Bay Subsystem. So I'm actually going to stick with what I know. I wish I could take a look. Can I look at some of the ships? Is there a way to look at the ships and see what those things control again? I don't know if there is from this screen. I think I got to be in battle, unfortunately, right? So, I mean, at least in the meantime, we'll have fleet. Right now we've got Fleet Group Wanderer and Fleet Group Daedalus, and now we can have Fleet Group Cavalry, we'll say. Yeah, so we've got Fleet Group Cavalry. We'll go ahead and group our 2 Adamants together, and we'll transfer over to Fleet Group Cavalry. So now they got 1,500 points, 2 Adamants and the Viper Mark 1s. I would like to get some officers, so let's get, just because I don't know yet, hopefully they'll be there later, I'll get Celia Muldoon, and we'll get the CIC Subsystem Strength, because at least I know what it does. It helps us with the posturing and gives us extra points to apply and gives us a better multiplier. So we'll go in and recruit. It's going to cost 50. Oh, we don't have enough. We don't have enough yet. So we'll let that ride for the moment. We do not want the Adamants without a commander. So we'll just kind of let that be. And I think I'm going to give ourselves a cooldown. Right now to jump is going to cost us 100 Tilium. So we'll let them be. This is the main Fleet Group Wanderer right here. They still have 3,000. They should be okay. I don't know if these 2 fleets together are going to combine in strength. So, but I guess we're going to find out. If that's the case, that could be really bad, right? Because we've got this fleet. Which one's which? So this one's 2,000. These 2 together are 3,350. So we're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. So what if temporarily we were to... See, this is rough. I was going to say transfer. We'll like jump these Adamants over here. We'll have 4 Adamants just in case. But I don't... You know what? Screw it. Let's do it. I hope it's going to work. I'm going to jump them in system with all these guys. Something tells me they can't merge in time. They can't transfer over. Like, we can only transfer in system. I think I'm going to withdraw. So I'm going to jump Fleet Group Wanderer back out to where we are in Cocalis. So they'll do their jump and they're going to evacuate right here. And then hopefully they'll be able to merge together. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to hold with Fleet Group Daedalus 1 turn just so we can let the FTL recharge drop a little bit. Oh, I don't even know where they went.
Commander.
Holy crap, that's far away.
Cylon forces have been roaming this colony's border. No civilians are present, so maximum force is encouraged.
Nice. Plus 600 Tilium, plus 600 requisition points. That's impressive. Well, requisition points are something that it seems like we've got to go and get, I realize. So that's going to be the way that we get another officer, unfortunately. So in the meantime, we might as well just take Fleet Group Cavalry and transfer them over to Fleet Group Wanderer. So we'll go in and transfer these all in, and now they're at 4,500. I suppose we could split the frigates here, so we'll have 3 Adamants each at 3,750. So right now we've just kind of taken that and absorbed it while we let the other Manticores complete, and then we'll be able to donate them back, or at least build some more, right? So let's go ahead and jump Fleet Group Daedalus over to Chapter 5. And then we're going to get Fleet Group Wanderer with its 3 adamants to jump back to contest Geminon. So there's the jump.
The Scorpia shipyards could use some relief.
So Fleet Group Daedalus is now prepared. Let's do this. So we've got 3750 points worth. We've got 3 adamants and 3 manticores. So hopefully that's a lot more than I've had before. A single adamant is very, very strong. And that's going to be a whole nother set of Vipers as well. And I love the fact we've got the plus 10% experience gains from Damon Greeley. That's phenomenal. So I think we've got all of our unguided munitions. That's great. I really, really dig it so far. So I'm going to stick with it. Let's do it. So how are we going to get these Vipers? The Daedalus is going to be creating some of these things
2, 1.
as an additional shipyard, right?
Multiple Dratus contacts, Commander. Scorpion Intel has already confirmed hostile bogies.
I knew they were under pressure out here, but this is the worst I've seen the Scorpion shipyards. Incredible they can get anything done under these conditions.
They probably just build stuff and then immediately fight with them. And then deliver them to wherever fleet needs it, right? Holy crap. So these guys are probably making a beeline straight for the Scorpia shipyards. We've got to defend them, so that means we've got to make a beeline, right? So let's go in and get all of our adamants. We're going to launch all squadrons. We're going to boost thrusters for everybody. Everyone's going to boost thrusters, and we are going to move our butts. So we've got to move the entire fleet forward. We will climb as high as we can, but then get the adamants, and basically while boosting, they're going to drop as low as they can, right? So we've already got to start that process. So we're diving. And then just to double check, we'll get all the manticores. They'll move and they will climb. And there's no point in focusing fire or anything like that. I will get the Daedalus shipyard, and I will launch squadrons here as well, and we'll get 160 into the air. Actually, no, I take that back. We're gonna get 200 Vipers in the air because we got 3 adamants. So let's go ahead and move. Trying to make contact. There's 5 Dratus contacts. They're actually veering to us now, so that's excellent. I thought maybe they're going straight for the Scorpia shipyards. So let's go ahead and grab, yeah, we can select all capital ships. You can see in the upper left-hand corner, we're selecting just the capital ships and not the fighters. We're going to go ahead and focus fire on their lead. And we're going to turn boost thrusters off. Oh, actually, no. We're still making contact. That's perfectly fine. We'll go Manticore, and same thing. We're going to close as quickly as possible and climb as high as we are able. And then we'll get the adamants, and they will close as quickly as possible, but they will dive as far as they are able. And then all of the Vipers, that's right, all 200 Vipers are actually, we might as well deal with these guys right here. I'm curious if these are Talons in the back, and that's why they're separating naturally just by their differences in speeds and things like that. And we're just going to go ahead and focus on the rear of the front group.
Squadron target is confirmed.
So let's go. Here we go. So we're pushing to contact. Nope, there's a Talon out here. We've got 2 Talons, maybe 3 Nemesis. We've got 2 Raider squadrons. Oh, a Revenant. What the heck is that? Okay, so we've got a new one. I have no idea what this is. A Revenant, huh? So this thing is the most durable thing that we've met yet. It looks kind of similar to our Adamants. Hull is 90. My goodness, that's impressive. Well, I mean, since they're making themselves known now, I suppose dropping him with torpedoes from the top isn't going to hurt. If we look at where he is weakest, it's in the rear, the right, the left, or the bottom. His front and his top are the strongest. So he's staying low for a reason, because he's got significant armor at the top and the front, which is exactly where we're going to be hitting him. So, but I guess with the torpedoes, it doesn't even really matter now, does it? So, I mean, we'll try to hit him elsewhere, but oh, that's kind of nuts. Well, let's go ahead and shut boost thrusters off. We're going to dial it back. We get +7 attack because of Damon Greeley's CIC subsystem strength. And what if we actually slow our roll, we'll dive down, and then we'll crank it on over to the right? Yeah, actually not dive down too far, but maybe like this. So we'll hard crank it to the right, which is going to reduce our mobility on the next turn. So we're going to stress our engines. And hopefully, if he's moving at speed, we might get some shots in on the left as well as the top. And then we're going to fire munitions directly on that brand new Revenant. and we're going to focus fire on the Revenant as well. So those are all of the Manticores with all of the unguided torpedoes. Then we're going to have our Adamants. I suppose we're still too far even on full boost. So we will full boost and dive and hit the deck. And then we'll get this Adamant here to actually boost thrusters off attack mode. And we're going to hard turn and give him the left, right? Is that the port, right? There's port and starboard side. So we're going to give him port side and he'll move right into our guns. So yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Let's just go ahead and choose the target. There we go, on the Revenant. And they don't really need targets right now. What I will do though is get all Vipers, and we are going to collapse directly on the Raider Squadron in the middle of us right here. There it is. Okay, perfect. Now what we can do is also send the guided munitions. We will fire munitions and we will target not on the lead, but the Revenant. And we're going to do the same. Actually, no, that should be sending as well. Yeah, perfect. Let's go.
Hostile unit identified.
Incoming Talon, Nemesis, Revenant.
Missiles incoming.
So he's turning into him. The top is completely removed of protection, and he's down to 20, down to 19. That is significant. Now, the Nemesis is untouched. The Talon is untouched. The Raider Squadron right now is getting swarmed. It dropped all the way from 50 plus to 8 in one go. No, I'm sorry, 48 down to 8. That is significant. Wow, these are gigantic alpha strikes. I mean, we outnumber them, we outgun them. This is pretty phenomenal. So with the Manticores, they're going to stay in their posture. They have reduced mobility on this turn because they stressed their engines the last time. Honestly, it's totally fine because we are keeping our turrets where they need to be. So we are slightly above and the enemies in front of us. We'll just continue to focus on the Revenant. We want that guy out. And then these Adamants right here will have Adamant Bastet and Adamant, I guess this guy and that guy. I don't know which ones they are. We're going to boost thrusters off, attack mode up, and then we will bank and give the Starbird. We'll dive here. And then with this gentleman, our left side's really getting wrecked. Apparently that Revenant is dealing significant damage. I'm actually going to turn it and crank it, and we'll dive, but we'll give him our front right here. Actually, you know what? Let's go without the attack mode, and we're just going to yaw as hard as possible without stressing the engine so we still have the mobility, right? And we're just going to continue with the same target. So let's go. That Revenant is going to get dropped pretty rapidly. Right now, our Adamant has still just a shaving of armor there at 3. And they naturally shift on over to the Talon with the loss of the Raider. We've got new Dreadus contacts. That's 3 more.
Seeing hostile contacts not engaged in the fighting. They appear to be scouting the Scorpia fleet's wreckages.
They'll be scavenging for ammunition. Destroy the wreckages before the Cylons can turn our own slugs against us, Commander.
All right, so we got to chase them.
A word? I don't often have the luxury of investigating field damage. A few moments of footage before you destroy those hulls could provide invaluable data.
How are we going to do that? Investigate the Scorpion wreckages, defend Scorpia shipyards. All right, so let's see. So right now we have, these are part of the original group. These are the new contacts, and they're heading out here to these wreckages. So if we can actually get the Manticores to move to intercept, then they might have what it takes. We can even divert one of the Adamants, and then everyone's going to collapse on the Talon and these 2 contacts in the rear. We just dropped the Revenant. We are naturally refocusing on the Talon, and we've got this Nemesis blowing right by. We might as well pursue the Nemesis with the Manticores and start hitting him in the right and the rear, and also moving towards the wreckages out here, right? This Adamant is now, I guess I won't veer off because he still has right armor. The left is pretty shot, so we'll be able to give them broadsides. These Adamants are still fresh. Our Manticores are mostly fresh except for the middle Manticore and the lead Manticore. So those 2 are pretty rocked right now. So I am worried about these guys. So how are we doing with the remaining Raider Squadron? We're still on it. So all Vipers are going to refocus. That's 200 Viper Mark 1s on that remaining Raider prototype squadron. We'll get all of the manticores. We are currently in attack mode. We're going to crank it on over. And we are moving to pursue. So we shall climb like so. I'm going to get this rear manticore, and we're going to come off and go into a balanced mode, allowing us greater mobility. And then we're going to try to move and intercept. Actually, we're even going to boost. So we're going to get a maximum, just catch up like that. Just hard catch up and climb. With this gentleman right here, we are actually going to give our rear to the enemy. I mean, I suppose we could actually be out this way. That works nice. So keep climbing. We'll get these adamants to kind of head off the talons. So we'll grab these two gentlemen. They're in attack mode. And yeah, they're already in the broadside. That works out nicely. So let's just keep it rolling and we'll just continue to broadside these guys. Our rear adamant, we're going to continue to crank our mobility and we'll just keep our right side to the enemy. And I suppose all adamants can focus on the Talon for now, like so. And we're currently reloading our munitions right now, so that's going to work out well. So let's go. Here it is. Nemesis blowing by. Talon's getting hit on the left and the bottom from our two lead adamants. This Nemesis is relatively fresh, but we're all separating. And I think we just cleared the Raiders. So let's go ahead and get the Vipers. If we select the target and we cycle through, there are no Raider prototype squadrons at the moment that we're aware of. So let's go ahead and focus on the Talon. And these adamants right here are going to continue to broadside the Talon. And we'll just stay low and strike from the bottom and the left. So that should be enough to whittle away at the Talon. Probably like a couple of turns before he loses all of his hull points. And even though they started to hack us, I'm assuming it's coming from the lead Nemesis. We're just going to stay low and give our broadside to the rear of the Talon. And then all the manticores. So we'll get all of our manticores. We will move into attack mode, boost thrusters off. And we're going to veer in and continue to climb and focus that guy. Now, fire munitions, it's still loading. That actually works out nicely. Let's go. Because we can save it for those heading to the wreckages, right? So we're getting peeled off, but we can always turn it around. So the Talon has been cleared. That's phenomenal. We've got a new Nemesis, and we've got another Dratus contact. So let's go ahead and select not this guy, but this guy. We're going to identify him for missiles. We'll have these two adamants continue to broadside, but we'll stay low. And honestly, I think the Nemesis is going to be fast enough. He's going to be right in there, and we're going to focus on the lead. Fire munitions on the lead. Then we're going to have all of our manticores. And with this Nemesis, I don't want to peel away. I mean, I guess we're going to get there regardless, right? If we can investigate the Scorpion wreckage, maybe we send one. That's going to give... He's got the weak left. We've got a weak left here. And this guy is the strongest. So I'm actually going to take this Singleton. We're going to boost thrusters. He's on the completely different side of the formation. I probably should have thought of this earlier. And we're going to climb and veer off. So he's going to do his thing and try to head out there. I don't know if we've got to be there before the Cylons get there. Looks like we've got maybe like 3 Talons because they're sending in Raider squadrons, right? So maybe we'll get the Vipers and we're going to start to intercept those squadrons. So 200 versus their Raider prototypes. I'm going to go to the lead and cut them off. And that way we're in a position to defend if they start to assault our manticores, right? Because they can absolutely swarm and exploit our breaches. This doesn't seem like a good place to meet them, but it is what it is. And then we'll grab these two and they're going to move to pursue. But we're going to try to keep it a little bit tight and together, so not telegraphing our punch, specifically by overextending and then being unable to respond and assist here. So let's just go ahead and make sure that we've got a broadside on the enemy. And we're going to focus fire. Oh, actually, we've got the left. Yeah, we'll focus on that Nemesis as well. We want that guy down. And then these two are going to focus on whom? That Nemesis. Perfect. All right, perfect. I suppose we could also send torpedoes, but I'm going to hang on to those torpedoes. So end turn. What do we got? So Nemesis in the distance, 36. We've got guided munitions coming on into the Nemesis out here from the Adamants. This Nemesis is down to 29. His rear armor is out. Right now, if we look at our adamants, top armor 29. Yeah, they're just hitting the lead. He's got enough. He's got enough armor to hold the day. So we'll just keep advancing with these two and just keeping the enemy in the broadside. I'm okay with that. And we're going to do a little bit of, I suppose we'll try to assist here and attack that gentleman. And we are crossing each other's paths with the manticores. So, I really don't want to pursue this guy too far. I suppose we can always use these two to fire munitions at the Nemesis and try to remove him from play. And then we will continue to advance with boosted thrusters to try to get into that circle and take a look at the wreckages for our guy. Yeah, they're still moving to intercept, so let's go. So here come the torpedoes. That's one Nemesis down back here. Hopefully they're refocusing on the Talon. These are shots to the rear, looking pretty good. He's down to 5, down to 4, down to 3, down to 2, and down to 1. So I think it's now time to peel off, and we'll maintain this target. And hopefully when they peel off, they'll get that last shot in there and finish the job. So we definitely want these two to come off of attack posture. We're going to flip that around and climb. This gentleman will actually go the other direction because I think he's going to be able to get there faster that way. And there we go. And then this gentleman is going to be alone. So we're turning boost thrusters off. And we're going to move ourselves into a relatively dominant position. We're in with the wreckages right now. I don't know if I've got to actually be close in terms of the Z-axis or the Y-axis as well, right? That one's done. So we'll go ahead and crank our adamant over and give him the right side. And these are going to continue to focus. So we'll have all of these guys, not him, this Talon right here. So if we can wipe them out, that leaves the 3 Talons with all of the Raiders, right? So let's go. So there, Nemesis is down. We've got all of our Manticores peeling off. We are hitting the Talon and starting to work that bottom armor. It's down to 43. Front armor's down to 17. So he turned around rather rapidly. So let's just continue. So we've got these 3. And we will give our right, but then I'm going to have to individually control this guy. And we're going to give broadsides straight into the bottom and the rear. We'll have these Manticores actually boost to catch up now. Their left side is really without defense, so we're going to try to kind of peel our way in such a way that we'll be in a spot where we can present our right as rapidly as possible. But man, I might have to, this guy's probably gonna have to fall to the rear and then maybe like this, get behind him and then turn around on the following turn. Now for a Manticore inside of the shipyard, we're actually gonna slow our roll and maintain a position of dominance and support. The Vipers are going to continue to engage all of the Raiders right here. And I think that's all right. I mean, that's probably the best that we're going to ask for right now. So let's go ahead and end. We've got the Talon in the distance. He's taking damage to the bottom because of all the adamant turrets. Vipers are wearing down at... I think they took out a Raider squadron. That's phenomenal. So let's actually double check. So what do we got? We've got 1, 2, 3 Dratus contacts. We've got the Talon. That's it. That's it. So let's go ahead and try and identify these guys. We'll get on them. I'm assuming that they're Talons, and then we'll form up with the Manticores. We're not going to push this too hard. So I will go Manticores. We're going to turn off boost thrusters. We're going to stay neutral, and then we'll individually place ourselves. So we'll go ahead and meet up. So we'll climb. We are going to move and climb. And then this guy is going to move and climb. There we go. So they're just maneuvering and grouping up. And then here we'll have the 2 lead adamants. They're going to start turning towards the next contacts and kind of climbing a little bit, but not too much. And then we'll stay behind and continue to focus the same target. So here we go. So right now we've got all the fighters moving to make contact. We have the Manticores grouping up. And then we've got our adamants wearing away at that bottom armor, but not super effective. Yeah. So tell you what, if we actually... I think we can fire munitions. I don't... So we'll send everything that we got at that guy from the bottom. I mean, he's already damaged. He's not taken out, but he's damaged. And then we'll just make sure that the manticores are grouping up appropriately. So we'll stay high. This guy is going to maybe come back and climb. Maybe this guy will not climb as much. Maybe about here. And then I'm actually going to boost here just with this gentleman so that we can make sure that we're in the right place. There it is. And end turn. So Talons are about to receive guided munitions from below. And there are the impacts. And that's the kind of penetration that we're looking for. And now he's down to 24-18.
Commander, I gave you an order.
What are you talking about?
Sir, the commander was following up on a request from Sinan for damage reports before.
Mr. Quaid is not in command of this fleet, Lieutenant. Destroy those wreckages now.
Huh. I didn't realize that I had to destroy him. I thought I just needed to get to him. All right, fair enough. All right. I mean, that's fine. I was a bit of a misunderstanding. I didn't realize. So we got to destroy the wreckages. My bad. Well, let's... I suppose... The problem is we got to turn around, right? I mean, I suppose I could send the fighters on it. You know what? Let's send the fighters, because it's harder to relocate the capital ships. So we're going to move to engage the Talons. So let's just form up our formation. That's looking pretty good.
Yes, sir.
And then they're going to focus on the identified Talon right here. Firing munitions. It's a little bit early. We're not close enough, but you know what? We're going to send everything that we got and hopefully drop out, targets. We're going to have our Vipers actually turn around and start to engage the wreckages themselves. So we'll start with that one and then we'll peel through. They've got significant firepower together, and then we'll just have the Adamants continue. So let's have this gentleman right here. We're going to boost thrusters and we're going to vector towards the incoming Talons, and then we'll have these gentlemen stay in attack and they're just going to push forward. That seems fine. So there it is, big hits here. Vipers are being recalled to the wreckages. This guy's not really taking much accurate fire. There we go, triple Talons. The front has been cleared of armor, which is phenomenal. We should probably descend a little bit, right? So here we go. We're now switching over to an attack posture and everything's crossing out, yeah? So we'll come on in and we'll dive. We will come on in and we shall meet and stay in formation. There it is. So they're going to... Apparently that's diving. And they're focusing on the same target, so that works. We've destroyed... Let's send 2 squadrons to hit each of the wreckages. So we'll send 2 here. We'll send 3. The remainder, the 2.5, to hit the other wreckage.
Target is confirmed.
And then we'll get the Adamants. Well, I mean, I guess we probably need to climb, because I'm actually thinking, this guy might... Well, actually, no. We'll just continue forward. It looks okay. So we'll boost thrusters. We'll turn off boost thrusters, sorry. And we'll start to vector away so that we can continue to provide broadsides. And let us hold. Go. So shots that clears the Talon. It's the remaining Talons. And we have split our squadrons to delete those wreckages, so that's great. Our manticores are still somewhat healthy.
Commander, all hostiles are disengaging.
Oh.
Admiral Kane isn't happy with us. But at least we stopped the Cylons from salvaging any more ammo from those Scorpion ships.
Interesting.
She's becoming rash in her decisions. That was valuable data we could have used. She forgets she must prove the stability of Colonial Fleet to the Quorum.
Well, if the Cylons keep running away, maybe you can finally finish building those Jupiters. And build us one while you're at it. We could do with the firepower.
That'd be nice.
Right, Commander?
I'll take a Battlestar. So, actually, I kind of want to see this, because there was quite a lot going on here. So, we met our very first Revenant, which I think might be their version of an Adamant, but it didn't really have a Raider squadron. So maybe it's like a Battlestar, their version of a Battlestar. Yeah, look at that thing. My God. So they had that Talon, the Nemesis, and the Revenant in the front. And we focused that Revenant from above, and we tried to get it from the side, but it started to vector off, and it really hit our lead Adamant there on the left there. Man, that is compelling. Look at that. Turrets are center right down the spine. They've got a bunch of turrets on the left and the right looking upwards, and then they've got a bunch of turrets right down the top on the spine. So, God, that thing's like a manta ray or something like that. Just had the additional Stratus contacts moving towards the wreckage, the triple Talons. Vipers are splitting the contacts to identify. We've got the Manticores pursuing the Nemesis, and we've got the Adamants skating the ground, or the floor of the engagement, trying to shoot upwards. Look at that. Guided missiles at the Talon. God, that's so cool. So at least we can actually see in the replay the turrets pretty well. I mean, even though our arc can aim upwards, I'm curious how steep that is, like if it's directly above. Because I noticed we started to miss quite a lot on the last remaining lead Talon. But I mean, they're still shooting, so I'll take it. I mean, I guess the effective range is probably pretty close, is my guess. Which is a little unfortunate because the Adamants aren't exactly maneuverable. I mean, relatively so. But compared to the Manticores, definitely not. But then again, you got frigates and corvettes, so different purposes. I feel like our Adamants are like battering rams that you smash people with the sides. So we're still trying to take that Talon down. There are the triple Talons. Our Vipers are moving to intercept. They took out some Raiders. And now we're trying to drop out that last remaining Talon. There go all the torpedoes. They just absolutely shred the lead, I'll say the second group of Talons frontal armor. God, that's so cool. So freaking cool. I love these cameras. And then we're starting to work those wreckages with the Vipers. The Vipers are so nice for stuff like that, where you don't have to turn the whole capital ship fleet around. So hopefully that means we've unlocked a bunch of blueprints, right? The following blueprints have been unlocked: the Ranger, the Artemis, and the Viper Mark II. Dude, that's epic. That's epic. Curious, though, if we have enough RP, right? So we've got requisition points at 686. We've got our fleets. They're jumping on in with Fleet Group Wanderer right now. I believe we've got new Manticores, right? Yeah, we have some new Manticores, which probably need to group together. So they're just going to group into the same Colonial Fleet. So we'll transfer over to Colonial Fleet 23, which is now I'm going to dub as Fleet Group Cavalry. So the cavalry will arrive. So we'll go ahead and do that. So we've got basically a set of 3 Manticores, and we can take a look at our blueprints. So what do we got here? So this is our Manticore Corvette. That's the... And then our Adamant. And the Ranger Cruiser. So what's the deal with this guy? Oh, sorry. Originally a Pycon specialist design, the Ranger class cruiser has more recently become popular throughout the 12 colonies. Its combination of long-range dominance and skirmish-range turret configuration makes it a highly effective all-rounder in any strike group. So it seems to be like it's a missile cruiser. Take a look at that. It's got 2 sets of guided missiles on it. If we look here at the Adamant, it's got 1 set of guided missiles, and then it's got Vipers. And then we've got 1 set of guided missiles on the Manticore. So it's almost like the Ranger it's got double, right? Armaments, front, bottom, and broadsides. Oh, it actually tells us the armaments there. I didn't notice that. So armaments, if we look on the Adamant, it says broadsides, light turret. There it is, right? And then if we look at the Manticores, it says armaments, front and rear. A Corvette cannon on the front, so the big stuff, and then the light turret on this side. So almost seems like the Adamants have light turrets on both sides. There's a Corvette cannon on the front, and this is heavy turret on the front of the Ranger Cruiser. Wow. And then 2 medium turrets on the bottom. So we've got front, bottom, and broadsides. Interesting. So it sounds like we want to stay high potentially, right? That's kind of nuts. If we take a look at the front armor, the bottom armor, the top armor is actually stronger than the bottom, so maybe not. What's it like here? I never really looked closely at this, so it's actually kind of interesting. We've got the same top, right, left, and rear armor. The bottom is squishy because we want to be skating the ground, and we want to be giving them our sides, not the front. So I guess that encourages not to turn our front into the enemy with the adamant. And then the manticores, the bottom is squishy, but honestly, we want our bottom on them, but the front is at least stronger, so you can approach and then climb and then shoot and then go. I don't know. So what else do we have? How much is that going to cost? In order to unlock, it's going to be 1350 requisition points. That's terrifying. So we also unlock the Artemis Battlestar. Ooh, that's new. That's going to be 2050 requisition points. Oh my god. The Artemis class Battlestar is the most commonly deployed command ship by Colonial Fleet. Moderate spread, high armor ratings, and aggressive turret battery placement make this Battlestar a dominating force on the battlefield. So this thing has a lot of hull in comparison. It's got guided missiles and 2 sets of Vipers, 2 squadrons of Vipers. The front, the left, the right, they all have very high armor at 80. The rear is at 60, and the top and bottom is at 70, so very balanced. And it seems like we've got front is a heavy turret, the top is a Battlestar artillery. Oh my god, maybe like anti-capital ship. The bottom a heavy turret, so front, bottom have heavy turrets, broadsides point defense, and the top is a Battlestar artillery. So it almost seems like we still want to skate on the ground, but we can climb, or like we can deal with stuff from the front, and then the sides is just make like we charge at our target, right? That's pretty epic. Munition squadrons, here we go. So this is the big one, right? Viper Mark IIs. Going to cost us 800 RP. We'll probably unlock this first, right? So the Mark II variant of the Viper sheds the older model's reliance on armor plating and instead relies on the reflexes and intuition of the pilot. Faster propulsion, updated RCS provides the Mark II unparalleled superiority in space and atmospheric combat. So if we compare, we've got the Mark I here, we've got the Mark II right here. So squadron size of the Mark I is at 10, so we lose 2 with the Mark IIs. Hull points 34 versus 40, so less hull points. Speed is the same. No, speed is 60 meters per second higher, and damage is higher. So we've got less, we're faster, and we deal a little bit more damage. I mean, that sounds like it could be good. It seems like with the speed, maybe they try to say that reflexes instead of armor plating is going to be the stuff. Maybe the damage output is kind of like where it really shines, right? So since we can no longer acquire an additional like officer because I want the requisition points, then it's probably going to be important for us to maybe absorb. I don't know if I want to have an officerless fleet group. I'm not too sure how I feel about that. So do we have enough space currently? So if we transferred fleet group data lists, that's going to be another 500 points each. We can absorb one of these manticores. So let's go ahead and take it, and then we're going to go ahead and start to jump these over to reinforce our other fleet group, which is basically just hammering away at Fleet Group Wanderer, right? So let's have the cavalry arrive. We're going to jump, and we're going to move on in. We can only do one at a time, so they'll jump into Cocalus. That's 2 manticores, and we'll actually... How are we doing here? If we're looking at the fleet right on top of us, they've got 1,800 away, 2,000 close. We can handle the 2,000. I don't think we're going anywhere. So we're actually going to maintain this position and contest Geminon. Currently, we've got defected areas here, so we're currently fighting it out in Geminon. And what do we have? Chapter 6, Chemical Warfare.
Information on the chemical attacks are still incoming, but response teams estimate thousands of victims.
Ooh.
Reports confirm most are non-fatal, which seems worse somehow. Kane's agreed to provide an escort for a Pycon Medical Corps attachment out of Helios Alpha. But it's your problem to figure out how to get them there. Her words, not mine. Sagittarian hasn't lifted their border embargo since the attack. At this stage, we've only got permission to take Dr. Coddle and his team to Erelon.
Oh wow, Doc Coddle's here. Wow. Cylons have launched chemical-based attacks on the populations of Erelon and Sagittarian from orbit. The nature of the chemical agents used is unknown at this time. Pycon Medical Corps has requested a Colonial Fleet escort to Erelon. Sagittarian's military embargo remains in effect. Okay, well that's lovely. I mean, we got to get out here because that's going to get us
No civilians
I'm
are
not so
present,
keen
so
on the
maximum
Tillium, but the
force is
requisition points are
encouraged.
huge. It's going to bring us up to like a little over 1,200, so that's going to happen. So I'm going to go ahead and move Fleet Daedalus, and we've got to push it. So our FTL recharge is going to get rather high. It's going to burn a lot of Tillium to make it happen. Now, if we want to get out there, can we jump this far? We can go to Gortyn. We can go, that's out of range. So I guess we'll go Gortyn, we'll break right, and then we'll be able to get there in 3 turns, right? So we're going to confirm the jump, and we're spending extra Tillium to make it happen. And we're going to maintain position, and then we've got reinforcements heading over to the right. As far as officers go, I'm not going to spend any points to get any upgrades right now because it's going to cost more requisition. So let's go in and end the turn.
Cylon escort group has been detected. Escort group is engaging hostiles.
Ooh, not cool. Not cool. So the Cylon fleet is 2,000 points. We've been ambushed. We're going to emergency jump. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's why you maintain some Tillium, because we're going to emergency jump right by. And we just shot out of there. Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump to our cavalry, and we'll group up there.
Fleet group has its
So we'll let
coordinates.
them stay in position. We'll have the Daedalus jump again at 130. We should probably... How much Tillium do we have? We have 660. Right now, if we look at intelligence, we were at 90-some. Wow, we have plus 124. Caprica has plus 48. We've received a letter of recommendation regarding Damon Greeley's impending promotion. Oh my god, wow. So they're feeling especially buffed right now. Sigyn has intercepted details of a secondary objective at Hira. The government of Vergon is requesting intervention to help against local Cylon forces. Vergon. Which one's Vergon? That's Vergon. Out here. Well, we're heading in that direction. We're coming. Hang in there, Vergon. So we're going to jump immediately. That's out of range. Honestly, we probably have to come here first, right? Gnosis. We're really pushing the Tillium expenditure. And then we're just going to converge this way. Let's go ahead and end the turn. Daedalus is now moving to engage. All right, here we go. So they are charging in on us. So we've got 1, 2, and 3 adamants. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the corvettes. We're going full unguided, and we've got 3 contacts. God help them. God help them. I mean, this is a good day for us.
Group is jumping in 3.
If we can whittle
2,
away at their
1.
presence, I'm hoping that that's going to be some form of attrition. Dear God. Man, we came in force. We came in force. Enjoy that one, Cylons. All right, so we've got our adamants, launch all squadrons. We're going to have Daedalus shipyard, launch all squadrons. There it is. So we have 200 Vipers deploying Viper Mark 1s, and we're going to get every single one of us as a fleet, and we're just going to boost on in and just move like a wrecking ball. So we'll climb,
Yes, sir.
but all adamants are going to do the same, but they're going to dive. So full distance, dive, and let us go. 4 contacts. Make that 4, not 3. Yeah, they like to do this. They peel off. It's almost like that's how they form their gun line, right? So we'll have our adamants. We're going to continue to boost. We're actually going to veer away and dive. We'll have all the manticores. And we're actually going to stop boosting thrusters. This poor manticore right here is about to smack into the research station. So let's... Can I grab this here? I'm trying to grab his icon. There it is. So we've got to turn pretty hard and get to the rear. And then we're going to have our other manticores, 2 and 3. And we shall climb.
So say we all.
And then all Vipers are to converge
Squadron target is confirmed.
on the rest of the Dratus contacts. One of your ships will collide. Oh, still? All right, well, I didn't see that. There it is. All right, perfect. Go. Oh, no, he's still going to collide. How about that?
Yes, Commander.
And go.
IFF confirms unit is hostile.
I noticed that these look different. Look at that. Oh, I guess it's the shadow of the research station. We've got 4 Nemesis. I mean, we definitely have an overwhelming presence, but you never know what they're going to have appear, right? Cylons are wily. So we got to keep diving. So boost thrusters, attack, stance, and we shall dive, dive, dive. Get those light turrets on there. And then we'll have the rear adamant continue to boost and dive. And then we're going to have all manticores in attack posture. And I suppose we'll sweep left to right. There's no point in really breaking up our fire. So we'll just vector towards them. And we'll get the Corvette gun on them. And we'll slow our roll. And then we're going to have that manticore here. The only one I'm going to change is actually this gentleman who's going to try to catch up positionally speaking. And he's going to bring it on up in the rear. So what I will do, though, is get these 3 manticores to fire munitions. And we'll go in and... we'll shoot at that guy who's crossing. And then all adamants are going to fire all guided munitions on that left target. And then all Vipers are going to focus on the same recipient of all the torpedoes. So let's go. Here come the munitions. God help you. Sop has been annihilated. There we go. Deleted a Nemesis. This guy has been whittled away. Sop armor has been cleared, and he's about to get hammered. This adamant still has armor, so that's honestly great. That's great. Our manticores are in good shape. That's phenomenal. Mind you, we only sent 3 out of the 4 salvos, so we still have more torpedoes to send. We'll go ahead and peel off. Let's get the manticores to deal with the right side here. So I'll actually get... we'll go into attack mode. And then we're going to peel these off. So we're actually able to regroup after avoiding that research station. There it is, like that. So we'll go manticores. We will fire munitions. Only one of us is really going to fire. And then we're going to focus fire, but on that far right. We'll get all the Vipers to assist, but on that same target. All adamants. Let's have the leads. We're getting hacked by the Nemesis, but honestly, it's not a big deal. And we'll just continue to dive. And we'll have this gentleman follow suit. And dive, get that broadside in there with the light turrets. And then the rear adamant is going to continue to boost, but he's going to follow the leader and dive. And let us go. This should be pretty good. Here we go. So this Nemesis is the focus. We've got more torpedoes coming on in. Open him up. God, those torpedoes are effective. My God, that is devastating. Jeez Louise. So with the adamants, we're all going to turn off boost thrusters. We're going to go straight into attack mode. So now all of us are in attack mode, and we are going to give them the broadside and dive just like that. And we're going to focus on that guy. No munitions to send. Manticores continue to pursue. Honestly, there's only really the one, right? We've taken out everybody. So let's crank her over. And we'll continue to focus. Yep, that's it. Last guy. And here we go. There he is. Yep. 5, 2, 1. High five. Beautiful. Very clean. We were hacked and everything, but it wasn't enough. So we'll just go ahead and proceed on that one. That was rather simple. So we got to make this jump. So 130 Tillium, we're still pushing it. And I want to go up here. We're Hera. Let's go to Hera first. We'll take care of business. That way we're going to be able to get our RP. So right now we're at 485 Tillium. Let's go ahead and merge these groups together. So Fleet Group Cavalry is going to transfer over to... Oh, hello. Okay, so actually, let's go to our officers. We will go to Wilbert Simon, and I will promote him just to expand his points. Do you wish to promote Wilbert Simon to rank 3 for 250? Oh my God. Okay, maybe not. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. Now, I guess we've got to do that if we want to get another one of these. Well, I guess, I mean, I suppose we could split the fleet a bit. Cylon Fleet 26 is 2,700 on it, right? Currently, we're at 3,750 out of 4,000. All the adamants, they use up a lot. We could pull one of the adamants out. So if I take the Baja and we detach it, now we've got enough space for 2 more Manticores. So now we can say, I'm going to move Fleet Group Cavalry into Fleet Group Wanderer. Like that, right? Hatmehit? Is that right? We can't do it there? Okay, so now if we look at our groups, we have a single adamant and then a fleet of 4,000 points on the Wanderer. So we should probably move to contest. So we'll jump out here for Tantilium. We are going to jump for 20 Tilium. Well, I suppose, I mean, I guess we'll move together.
I've plotted the jump coordinates.
It's unfortunate, but we got to do it. And then we're moving all the way to Hira. So that's how it's going to be. Let's do it. Here we go. All right, they pulled away. And now we can move on Hira. Perfect. So this is the one where we're going to get 600 more RP. It's going to cost us 850 requisition points in order to unlock the Viper Mark II. And I have a feeling that's going to be pretty significant. Even though we're losing out on 2 Vipers per squadron, I mean, they already have quite a presence and they're going to be faster and they're going to hit a little bit harder. So that should be pretty epic, right? Especially with all the adamants that we're fielding right now.
2, 1.
1, 2, and 3, and 4 Manticore, 3 adamant.
Dratus contacts. All marks are hostile.
They did say we don't have to worry about like friendly Dratus contacts or anything like that, right? So that's good. So let's go ahead and start with a regular. So we'll get all of
Launching
our
alert
squadrons in the air. And then we'll get our Manticores and we're going to boost. And we're going to intercept and climb. So same deal. So far, it's been working. So we're not going to change it. This is our doctrine at the moment, right? So we'll dive and let us go. So all squadrons have launched. And are moving to make contact with 4 contacts. We've got 7 capital ships and 200 Vipers. Viper Mark 1s. So with these, just the adamants this time, right? Let's go ahead and I'm actually going to come around and we'll give them the port instead. So we will dive and give them, start to vector with the port side with the adamants and the Manticores. I'm going to cut the boost and we're going to get ourselves into a better line so that we're engaging rather equally instead of having someone just be completely out on their own. So we'll, as an example, we'll shrink down this vector and climb. And then we'll have this Manticore. Maybe we'll actually boost with this Manticore just to line on up. So we'll go boost thrusters. We'll get into line. Come on in. And then this one, we're going to maintain boost. And we're going to at least be close by. And then all Vipers are going to converge. Let's actually get rear left, right? Rear left.
Yes,
there
sir.
it is. And let us go.
Hostile unit identified.
Nemesis. I see a Raider squadron. So we've got 1 Talon. So triple Nemesis, 1 Talon. So let's go ahead and divert all Vipers to the Raiders. So move to intercept. And then we are going to have all of our Manticores. We're actually going to boost thrusters off. Full attack posture. And let's go ahead and tag the right side. And then we'll swing around to the left. So we've got it. I think the one thing that I'm nervous about is if we're shooting unguided munitions, what happens if you've got
So say we all.
other Manticores in the way? Is that a problem? So maybe we'll line this up so that we're more line abreast, right? So we'll kind of do... I mean, I guess we'll crank it to the
Yes,
left
Commander.
here. And then we will, just so that we're not
On it, Commander.
occluding our lanes of fire. So I might need to actually get this one into its normal balance posture, and then we'll stay high. And then this one on the side will actually get to vector closer together. Now all 4 manticores, they're focusing now on the far right, and we will fire munitions on the far right. So there we go. We're going to launch all of those. That's 400 or I guess, what is it, 40 per salvo or something like that? I don't remember what it is. So for our adamant, I mean, I guess we will just boost in, and we're vectoring for this guy. So we'll focus on the second in line, and we're going to do the same here as far forward as possible. And then we've got the rear adamant, who I suppose is just going to close that gap.
On it, Commander.
And then we'll have all the adamants fire guided munitions at that same target, and let's go. Here we go. So these raiders will be intercepted by our Vipers. That's a lot of torpedoes. I don't know if they'll hit though. Yeah, we were coming from the side, so that wasn't effective at all. All of them missed, but dear God help you if you got hit with that, right? It looks impressive, at least. Okay, so let's get all the manticores, and now we should be able to peel. We'll go attack, posture, and we'll swing through. I mean, I guess we could let this guy go.
On it, Commander.
How much? His top is busted. These guys are getting wrecked. I mean, I suppose we should deal with what's in front of us. So let's go in and reorient ourselves. We'll have this manticore shoot across.
Understood.
Maybe back a little bit. And we can even, yeah, just the
Yes,
extreme
sir.
right there. And then all manticores are going to switch targets to this nemesis, which I think the adamants are already focusing on. So that's kind of ideal. With these 2 adamants, they'll go ahead and give the port side to the enemy. And then we'll just continue to boost with this guy. All right, great. And we're still dealing with the raiders. That guy's getting hammered. His top has 0. He's down to 15. 14's taking Corvette guns. All right, Nemesis is down. Beautiful. So that's 1. We're getting hacked. So rear and top are clear. We might as well vector into him now. So we'll get the manticores, and now they're going to go ahead and turn and pursue, and they're going to be coming in on the left side here. So we'll focus on the right nemesis here. The Vipers, did they finish the raiders? It looks like they did. So let's go ahead and pursue this nemesis
Squadron
here.
target is confirmed.
We're going to have the adamants move towards the talons. You kind of got to get these guys going separately, I find. Yeah. Now here, as far as being hacked, our firewall is low. I don't know if we've taken any subsystem damage. Oh, yeah, we have. Our fire control systems are pretty busted. We'll go ahead and get that going. So we'll repair the fire control system. Oh, no repair needed. Okay, well, tell you what, we'll turn off boost thrusters. What about now? Repair, I see. So we will need it at some point, but at the moment, no. So we're just getting maximum maneuverability. We'll get that going. For us, we'll turn boost thrusters off, and we'll do a little bit of the same, and we'll dive down. And then we will turn boost thrusters off. And I suppose we'll crank it on over and give them an actual broadside. And I'm not even going to tell them to focus fire. They'll just do their thing. So let's see what we got. So shots from the top. All the Vipers are pursuing. This Nemesis out here is getting the brunt of all of our Manticores, and he's got 1 hull point left. So all we got to do is turn the Manticores around to engage the Talon, and we've got that one made. So let's go ahead and crank this over. All of our Manticores. Now, mind you, perhaps let's take them off the attack posture just so we have better maneuverability. And we're all going to crank over like so. And then we'll have all of our adamants. They're in a neutral posture. And I mean, we might as well turn like this. Yeah. We can fire munitions. Not yet. The manticores, though. Nope, not yet. All right, fair enough. Just end turn. I think we got this. There we go. The top is exposed. Hull is dropping on the Nemesis. 16. I mean, we'll let the adamants take care of that. Now, all the manticores should be able to fire. Here we go. This should be entertaining. And the adamant should be able to fire. And we're going to focus on the Nemesis. And let's just let it roll. Here we go. Off they go. That guy's not very dodgy. Nemesis is out. And here it comes. Oh, God. Dear God. There it is.
Down.
High five.
Good job, Commander.
So excellent, because we get that 600 requisition points, and that's going to be huge. So I'm actually going to just proceed because I want to get this out. We're going to get Viper Mark II, so that's going to be phenomenal. We even have, if we have 2,000 requisition points, at some point we're going to be able to get new blueprints. So we'll go blueprints. We've got Viper Mark IIs. We're going to go ahead and purchase those. That's awesome. There they are. Actually, what is the difference? So look at them. So here's the Viper Mark 1s, and here's the Viper Mark 2s. I'm curious. Oh, there we go. There we go. So they're a little bit... I mean, yeah, well, they look very similar, but these are perhaps a little cleaner. I'm not entirely sure. Well, that's awesome. Either way, we've got some brand new Vipers. I'm curious if those are deployed right away or if we have to build them. So we build ships? No, those are ships like capital ships, right? So currently we've been burning artillery just to get around. Right now, if we go to intelligence, I know that there was a call from Vergon. We've received a letter of recommendation for Damon Greeley. Engineering advises they've been studying the Ranger blueprint, believing it can strengthen our fleet's potential. Well, I mean, that makes sense. Escort the Icon Medical Corps to Erelon. So I'm not seeing the Cylon on the board. Officer-wise, we do have some RP. We might as well use it to get the upgrade for Simon so that it gets that extra 1,000, so we can actually include, you know, strengthen the entire fleet. So we are going to take that promotion for 250 requisition points and get the 1,000 fleet points, and that's going to allow him to absorb the remaining adamant. So we'll transfer that over to... Oh, really? We can't. It has hit the maximum ship count of 7. Oh, interesting. Well, it looks like we're going to have to pull off, I suppose, one of the corvettes because, I mean, obviously the adamant has more of a presence and reach, right? So we'll go Asteria, and we're going to detach Asteria. We'll get the adamant, and we'll attach it to the Wanderer. And I'm gonna suppose we'll hang here, right? Now, if we look intelligence-wise, we've got 2 defected, and it's currently Geminon and Pycon. So if we were to position ourselves there, I think it will help our cause, right? So Geminon and Pycon. So what do they provide? So Pycon provides 15% officer promotion cost minus 10% ship build cost. That's epic. And then Geminon plus 4 Tillium from unfortified colonies plus 1 to Cylon FTL cooldowns. Well, I like that. That actually sounds very helpful right now. So maybe we'll move to Geminon. So obviously we continue to jump. It's costing us Tillium, but if we can, I'd like to get them back, right? So we'll jump on out, and then we will get our, I mean, gosh, I mean, they kind of got to go together, even though they're not really able to establish a presence elsewhere. And then we probably need to cool off with Daedalus because it's been jumping a lot, like a lot. So we'll just end that turn.
Cylon escort group has been detected.
New contact, new Cylon fleet, 2,000. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. So right now we actually have Geminon back. That's phenomenal. So if we hang out here, I'm assuming their morale is going to improve, right? So we've got fleet group Daedalus. They've cooled off a little bit. Right now, what else do we have here? If we look at intelligence, has that changed at all? Scorpia, they're less concerned. I mean, that's a plus. Oh, no. Scorpia, Helios, Gamma, it's because of the Cylon's presence. They're not enjoying their life right now. Well, let's jump on out, and we're going to head towards the main objective right there. And we're just going to let the rest of them cool off a little bit. I guess in the meantime, we could always build more ships so that we can start to create that third fleet. So probably want to start with a couple of adamants, and then we'll get a couple of manticores all queued up, and then we'll end the turn.
Detected a Cylon escort fleet, sir.
Oh boy, they're jumping in on us. There are multiple fleets located at Geminin. Which fleet should commit to battle? Well, obviously Fleet Group Wanderer.
Colony is under attack.
So let's go auto-resolve. Chance of casualties 0%. So we're going to go ahead and auto-resolve that. Now, if there's even a chance of casualty, then I'm not going to auto-resolve it, but
Commander.
that was a lot better. That was excellent. Oh, look at
A
this.
high-level Leonis diplomat has been ambushed by monotheist
Plus Corvette.
sympathizers and requires extraction.
I mean, that's tempting,
Sir,
but we also get
information on the
requisition
chemical
points here
attacks
as
are
well.
Still incoming, but response teams estimate thousands of victims.
Okay, I'm going to jump,
Reports
and I'm going
confirm
to
most are
I'm going to
non-fatal,
take care
which
of this right away.
seems
So we're going to
worse
confirm,
somehow.
and we'll get the dataless
Kane's
shipyard
agreed to
here.
provide- We need to help deal with SDU militia forces outside of
We get another
Sagittarius.
officer as well.
Look at the
Oh,
lesson
that
in
could be great.
diplomacy.
That could be great. So we took a turn off. We'll go ahead and jump and make our way over to the alternate objective out here. And we are unfortunately going to have to move this fleet along with him. And we shall end the turn.
Detected a Cylon strike fleet, sir.
There it is. And we shall go. So it's going to be the last one for this episode, but my God, I'm really curious if we've got the Viper Mark IIs now. I don't know if we've got to go through and pay to upgrade everything, or if we now just have Viper Mark IIs. I am not entirely sure, right? So I suppose we can choose here, right? Oh, there we go. Oh, so you choose Raptors. Oh, I didn't even see the Raptors here. Boarding targets, disarm, boost firewall, fire rocket. We could have Raptors. Well, I'm going to go with the Viper Mark IIs just because, I mean, they're brand new and they seem pretty potent. And maybe, what if we electronic countermeasure utility? They're slower, they have less hull points, and they can board vessels. It hosts a suite of electronic countermeasure devices that can be docked to friendly units to bolster their firewalls. Oh, nice. Well, I think I'm just going to go all out Viper Mark IIs, and then we'll see how that performs, and we can go from there. So there it is. There we go. We've got a lot of Viper Mark IIs. So it's not 10 per squadron, it's 8
Fleet
per
group is
squadron.
jumping in 3, 2, 1.
So we've got to escort a medical vessel because of chemical warfare attacks by the Cylons. And Lucinda Kane doesn't really like it.
014, Karam 002.
I presume this won't inconvenience your big warships too much?
Oh, that's
Don't
Coddle.
worry, Doc. We'll get you over into Aerolon airspace as soon as your FTL drives are recharged.
That's not what concerns me.
What does? So we got 5 Dratus contacts, and we have the TNS. What's these? Defend the Pycon transports while their FTL drives recharge. We've got to hold for 7 rounds. Now, I'm assuming maybe we shouldn't just boost on out and engage because we're going to leave the transports by themselves. Last time we had contacts appear right next to the freighter that we had to defend, so it's very possible they're going to do something similar, right? So we're going to get our adamants, we're going to get the dataless shipyard, and we're immediately going to launch
sir.
all of the new Viper Mark II, so that's 5 squadrons of this stuff. We've got the manticores, and we're just going to stay, I suppose. I mean, we'll move forward. How quickly can we move the transports? Let's go ahead and maybe converge on dataless shipyard. So we'll turn that in, and we're going to go ahead and...
On it, Commander.
I'm curious, do they have any hull? They just have hull. Oh my god. That's terrifying.
Yes, sir.
They don't have armor. That's right. So we're all converging on the dataless shipyard. We'll have the adamants slow it down a tad, and they're just going to dive. The manticores are going to stay normal, but they're just going to climb. So we'll not come out as quickly, but we'll just climb and just change elevation. So here we go. So you can see the elevation changes right there. And the transports are vectoring towards the shipyard. And squadrons are being deployed. All right, so we've got a Revenant. We've got a Talon. We've got 2 Revenants, a Talon, a Nemesis, and an Unidentified, which has actually deployed, I think, Raiders. So we've got 2 Raider squadrons. So it seems like we've got a Nemesis for electronic warfare. We've got 2 Revenants just to hammer us. And then we've got 2 Talons with 2 Raider squadrons. So that's what we're dealing with at the moment. Let's go ahead and have 3 Viper Mark IIs engage and intercept the left Raider prototype squadron. We'll have 2 Viper Mark IIs intercept the right Raider prototype squadron, because we can't really afford to have them get on by and hit the transports, because the transports are just, they've got nothing. We've really got to focus fire. So we're going to go ahead and select the entirety of the fleet, and we're going to engage 1 Revenant at a time. Their top armor is weaker. Well, you know, front and top is what they got, so it is what it is. Let's go ahead and crank it up into attack mode. And we are just going to climb. All adamants are going to dive. So we will push down and dive. We're not in range to really do any of the broadsides yet. So I suppose for the adamants, they don't need to go into attack posture. So we'll just move forward, dive, that's it. Now all the Manticores can focus fire on this lead Revenant, and we'll send like 1 billion torpedoes just to breach them. Adamants are, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter who we're focus firing, so we're just going to say the same, but we're going to fire munitions, but we're going to peel off and try to clean left or right. So we're going to hit that Talon with guided munitions from the front. We know that it doesn't have as much armor up there, right? I think it's the front. 20 armor in the front. So if he's going to vector towards us, maybe the guided munitions are going to hit on the front. It's possible he starts to turn, which would be better for him. So let's go in and end turn and see what we got. So here it comes. Revenant's about to take a beating right on the front. He slides right underneath it. So
Fighter squadron is taking fire.
all right. Okay, fair enough. So how are our squadrons doing? We've got 1, 2, 3. They're all focusing on the Raiders, and the Raiders are down to 38. The Raiders back here are starting at 48, so they whittled away at like 10. So far, none of the Vipers have been lost, so that's already nice. That's a plus. So for our adamants, let's do them one at a time. We're going to crank up to an attack posture. We're going to stay low, give them a broadside with light turrets. This one is going to come in on attack. Our front is definitely not what we want to get hit, and that's where we're getting hit. So we're just going to give them the port side. And then this one right here, I suppose, is going to vector in and maybe catch him with some of the port. Adamants are already focus firing there, so that's fine. The Manticores are in attack mode. So the Nemesis in the background, should we focus on the next Manticore already on the top? I feel like we should just dump this guy out. So we're all going to focus on the same Revenant, and we're just going to be right here from above. So same one, and let's just let it ride. What do we got? So here he goes. It's getting hammered from multiple sides.
IFF confirms unit is hostile.
Oh god, his armor is really holding. And now we can start to whittle away. So how are we doing? How's our health? So right now, hull-wise, we've got hull everywhere, but our right side's getting busted on the very far right Manticore. Our adamant front and right, so this guy's getting attacked. The front has been shielded momentarily, and this adamant's starting to get hit. Okay. These things are beasts. Oh my god, they're beasts. We probably need to take a look at the transports.
Understood.
Let's actually not vector them away, now that I think about it, because then that's only going to create more distance between us and the transports.
Understood.
We'll just gather them together.
So say we all.
There we go. And right now, I don't want that Revenant running our blockade. That scares me a little bit. This guy's going to cruise right through, which scares me. So maybe we should get in his way. All right, so attack mode. The right side is starting to get battered and the top is getting battered. So maybe we'll drive right by and give him a good old broadside. We'll climb and get in his face. We've got this adamant here. I mean, we could give the rear, climb and give the port. So let's go ahead and refocus on the other revenant there. And this guy's going to focus on that same revenant right there. This gentleman is going to continue. We're going to fly by and give him a broadside. It's honestly, it's mostly what we got. Our weak side is our weak side, but you know, it still has some armor and we've got a decent amount of hull. Now, we probably want to take the manticores. We could just shoot right by and then turn ourselves around. So if we actually increase our maneuverability, we could shoot by, we could peel off like this, and then focus fire on the other revenant, and then come around them, right? Because this revenant's rear is at 45. And then how are the Vipers doing? Targets, Talon, Raider prototype, Revenant, Talon, Nemesis, Revenant. Okay, refocus on the Raider. Refocus on the Raider. Although I think I might, you know what, I'm actually going to leave two. I'm going to leave 2 squadrons on this Revenant who's now been breached in multiple places. We may just need a little bit extra just to pursue him until he dies. So there it is. Okay, let's go. Right now, this guy is starting to fall. I mean, he's turning to engage. That's great. This Revenant is just tanking like everything, dear God. But the right side is getting hit by the Manticore, so that's excellent, right? I mean, we just got to stay on this guy. We're going to keep these 2 fighter squadrons and this adamant going. So we'll go fighter squadron, and not this adamant, but this one. All of them, just double check they're focusing on that Revenant, and we're going to drop him as quickly as possible, right? And then we've got the remaining adamants and all manticores. So we'll go manticores here, and they're focusing on this other Revenant right here. Fire munitions, launchers are still loading. So honestly, right now attack is up. We're going to crank this over and use our broadside straight into the rear. We're going to have,
so say we all.
Our manticores,
so say we
all converge on that Revenant.
Understood.
And I think that's honestly not too bad. If we look at the Vipers, can we confirm, are the Raiders still around? They might be gone. I see the Nemesis shooting by, and that does make me a little bit worried. Maybe we should pursue that Nemesis before he gets out of hand. I don't think he's really going to do too much here. Actually, no. No, maintain position, maintain position. So we will get all Vipers, and we're just going to dump out that Revenant right there. Let's go.
Adamant is taking damage.
That Revenant is done. Come on. So who's blowing by? What's happening with the Talons? I'm seeing the Talons split on the fleet.
Additional Dratus contacts, sir. Bearing on the transports.
All right, fair enough. So how are we doing? Right now, this Adamant is almost destroyed. And I think they may have this Adamant. I think we've lost an Adamant now. This is the Thanatos, which I believe, does that have our... Oh, crap. Does that have our guy in it? That's not good. So what I'm going to do, we're going to go fully defensive. It's probably too late for that. And we're going to hard turn and give him the butt. I did not see that one, right? And mind you, we're getting focused by two Cylons out here. So that's rough. This is getting messy because we didn't have the DPS to drop them rapidly, right? So Adamants, our right side's busted, but our left side is fine. So we're just going to veer in and start hitting this Talon in the rear. We're going to have this Adamant. It's going to veer over. Actually, so Dratus contact. What do we have on the field? Right now we have 2 new contacts out here. We've got the Revenant and we've got a Talon, and then we've got another Nemesis. So we've got 3 Nemesis out here. Holy crap. Okay. He's right there. That is not good. It's not good. We still have munitions, though. We might be able to send guided missiles that way. All right, well, tell you what. Target Revenant. I mean, at this point, the Revenant's really drawn our fire. They did, and our attention. So we're just going to follow this guy around. It's too much to turn on him. We'll go in and get the... Actually, you know what? Stay the course. We're going to rely on our Vipers. These 2 Nemesis are probably too far away at the moment. They shoot guided missiles, though. If they're uncontested, that could be a big problem. So let's get 3 Viper Mark II squadrons. We're going to focus on the new Nemesis on the right on his own. We'll send 2 Viper 2 squadrons, and we're going to go ahead and select and engage. I guess we'll fly by and harass this Revenant. We need him down. Our Adamant on this side is going to be just dumping the port into his port side into this Talon. This Adamant is going to continue to provide his left side because his front and his top is busted, but his left side still has armor, and we're in attack mode, so we shall climb to meet him, and we're focusing on this same Revenant. This Revenant's front still has a lot. It still has a lot. Hopefully he'll give us his right side, right? And then now we really have to focus. We really need to finish this Revenant badly. Let's make sure that we've got a firing solution.
Yes, sir.
Full attack. And with the Manticores, fire munitions and dump this guy. So that's just point blank torpedoes straight into his top. That actually makes me think maybe we're not going to need the Mark IIs on him, but let's just end the turn. What do we got?
Adamant is taking damage.
Firing. There we go. There we go. So we lost an Adamant.
Missiles incoming.
Fortunately, we're building an Adamant, so that's an easy replacement if we need to. But that sucks because it's our first loss of this campaign. All right, so we've got the Talon. His rear is at 9. Honestly, I guess this Adamant's just going to be following him to his grave. So we'll just stay in attack mode and keep hammering in from the bottom there. All Vipers are going to converge. Right now we've got one more round. So I think the transports are going to be all right. So let's get the current transports. I realize I haven't been microing them at all. This one will turn away, and this guy's going to turn away. We'll have an Adamant move to screen.
Yes, Commander.
And we'll focus fire on this Nemesis, who, if he tries to shoot on by. We'll actually have our remaining 2 Adamants. We'll fire munitions, and I guess we'll send it to the Talon just so that we can end this guy's watch. And then we're going to have... I mean, we're not going to get to this Nemesis right away. We probably want to focus on this Talon instead. So let's have all Manticores vector to engage. Like so. There it is. Okay, and we're all going to focus fire on that Talon. There we go. And all the Vipers on the Nemesis. All right, here we go. One more turn to protect the transports. Come on, guy. Hang in there. Ooh. Oh, he's taking it. He's taking it.
Manticore is taking damage.
All right, we're slowly whittling away. Time remaining 0 rounds for the transports. I mean, that's a blessing for sure. We actually are taking casualties here. So now that we've opened up the right side, let's just slow our roll, suck it back, maintain position, attack posture. There it is, and focus into the weak side of the Talon. Right now, this gentleman is having a horrible time, so let's just peel off and just chase him and give him our port. That'll do. Vipers are going to pursue until this guy is down. And then our adamant right here took a lot of hits to the bottom, but we're just moving the screen right here. Our transports, I mean, since they're basically going to jump out, right? Let's just keep them running.
Yes, sir.
Yep, that looks okay. All right, here we go. Come on, adamant. Left side's at 7. Come on, hammer, hammer, hammer. Corvette guns. This Talon's down to 2. There we go, they're out. High five.
Transports 2 and 3 have jumped to PyCon. Cuddle's transport
Oh,
hasn't
what?
jumped.
Tell your commander my ship is ready to be escorted to Sagittarion.
You know we can't take you there. The Sagittarian border embargo is still in place. The whole planet is off limits.
I guess
to
he's
Colonial
not
Fleet.
Colonial Fleet or
You
no?
have your duty, and I have mine. You can let yours get in the way of helping innocent victims, children, goddammit, or you can take me to Sagittarion and let me do my job.
Even if Kane agrees, we have to clear the Cylons first. If they see us jump now with Coddle, they're going to realize we're taking him to Sagittarion.
All right. I mean, fair enough. So we've got 1 transport with Doc Coddle. Let's go ahead and have him turn. We're going to stress his engine to slow him down for a moment, and we're going to try to deal with these guys. So this Talon is basically done. So we're going to have our Manticores move to engage the Nemesis. So we're going to maintain our height advantage and refocus here on the Nemesis. And then we've got our remaining 2 adamants. Honestly, I'm surprised. Is this guy moving away from us? We'll climb and I think he's moving this way, but it seems like he's moving across. So that's going to be interesting. And then our left side's completely open, but I think the adamant has enough hull points. It's going to be able to just sort of like tank it. So we'll kind of shoot on by. And our Vipers are trying to finish this guy off. So let's let them. So there's a Nemesis. Right now, yep, that adamant will deal with him. And we're attacking this Nemesis from the top. There we go. We've opened him up with the Manticores. Adamant still is maintaining its, I guess, I wouldn't say dominance. I wouldn't say dominance, but it's still alive. Let's put it that way. So like a wolf pack, we'll just keep attacking that guy. Adamant, yeah, let's just keep it going. Keep it going. Here we go. So focus. There we go. 1 Nemesis down. We have another Nemesis down. Perfect. There it is. I think we cleared the field.
Sir, contact zone is clear. Can also confirm PyCon medical teams 2 and 3 have hit dirt.
Awesome. So we...
Inform Lieutenant Cottle that I won't break Sagittarion's embargo for his personal crusade. And Commander, that is the last time I'll hear you taking orders from an inferior officer.
Government overthrown by a Caprican-backed coup. Their military forced to fight enemies they didn't make. Oh, I can't imagine why they don't leave the welcome mat out for Colonial Fleet.
Huh.
About that, I think I have an idea.
I don't. So we lost an adamant. But you know what? That's all right. I will watch this replay because this one got really complicated. The Revenants tanked so much damage. We missed with a lot of those munitions, so because they flew right underneath our torpedoes, I feel like guided missiles probably would have helped us out there. Like, look at this. The Revenant takes nothing. Well, I guess the camera's not showing it to us, but... yeah, that Revenant took none of those. These are our new Viper Mark IIs. It'll be kind of cool to see how they perform, because this is our first battle with the Viper Mark IIs. Yeah, we're just trying our best to whittle away at the Revenants and stop them from just bum rushing the transports, but man, they take a beating. They really take a beating. Okay, so that's the first Revenant. And I totally missed that one of our adamants is taking serious focus fire. And that's the other Revenant. God. Oh boy. Man, this fight was all over the place. It was not organized at all. Let's just keep working the Talons. And here are the Viper Mark IIs. Oh boy. Manticore is working like a wolf pack. Okay, so we just got our jumps on 2 of the transports. I really gotta see if I can keep the adamants together, but they start out spread out, which I guess is not horrible, but man, if they get singled out, it's pretty rough. Oh boy, yep, that was ours. So we lost an adamant. Vipers are peeling off, and there we go. Oh boy, wow. Well, holy crap. Apparently, we're gonna get some requisition points, right? I don't remember what we get out of this one. The following blueprints have been unlocked: PCM and Sweeper. So what is that? So here's the Sweeper Squadron. Sweepers deploy shaft payloads to provide radar and projectile countermeasure zones. A fundamental tactical craft that can hold off a Cylon long-range missile assault single-handedly. Oh, wow. So they're like a defensive squadron. That's pretty cool. And apparently we've got PCM. Emits an electromagnetic radius that guarantees mutual destruction of hostile munitions. So is it like a minefield that is a defensive minefield? Well, I guess minefields are usually defensive, but guidance is sentry. Oh, so they're like something that disables hostile munitions that come on through. Explosion range is 2,500 meters. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. Man, I gotta say, the munitions that they gave us are already pretty epic, and I definitely want to unlock a Battlestar. That's pretty epic, but we're about halfway there. Either way, we've unlocked the Viper Mark IIs, and they're pretty good, and we've got some serious fleets going, and we've got a lot of requisition, right? So that's epic. And then we've got a brand new chapter, Sagittarian. I'm assuming that's with Doc Cottle. That's pretty cool. We get to meet him. Yeah. Well, bunnies, we did quite a lot. We unlocked the Viper Mark II squadrons and actually got them into play. We unfortunately lost our very first ship, an Adamant, but at least we're already in the process of rebuilding another one, and we can even just transfer over an Adamant if we somehow get our fleets together at some point. So overall, it's not a huge loss, but we do lose out on some of the veterancy there. We seem to be making decent progress, and overall, I'm pretty stoked with all the stuff that we can unlock in the future. So if you enjoyed the episode, please feel free to like, share, or comment down below. It helps us a great deal. I had a total blast. I hope you did as well. And I can't wait to get into the next one with you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.